guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back in my backyard because guess what? We have a car that might surprise you. This is a 2021 Mazda 3. This one is a turbo with all-wheel drive and the Premium Plus package. But before we get into this hot hatch from Mazda, let's talk about what's going on there. Mazda, this iconic Japanese brand. Believe it or not, the actual company's been around since 1929. Before they started making cars, they made cork, if you could believe that. In 1933, they made their first vehicle, the Mazda Go. It was a three-wheel pickup truck. Mazda really built a name on performance, especially when it came to the rotary-powered cars, the ones that we love, that RX-7, RX-8, and of course, the Le Mans winning, the first Japanese car company to win the 24 Hours Le Mans with the only rotary-powered engine that was all Mazda. Fast forward to 2021, Mazda has some performance that they want to bring back to the table, and it all comes from the addition of a small snail that we like to call a turbocharger. So this has that turbocharger underneath the hood. Is it a Mazdaspeed 3? The company is saying no, but does it still have plenty of zoom? And is this really a true hot hatch? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this 2021 Mazda 3 Turbo with the all-wheel drive and some aerodynamic additions that are really gonna just set it apart, and it might change your mind. Let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat, the styling. Still looking the same since this current generation redesign, but this is the Premium Plus. What we're talking about when we add, we're talking about extra aero. So this Mazda 3 Turbo has a massive front lip splitter section here that really extends out nice and thick to stop air from going underneath the vehicle and get air into the front area. I love the way they designed the headlights. Really small housings, everything blacked out on the interior. You got LED daytime running lamps. This has LED headlights, and I dig the black chrome finish. The way it extends all the way underneath the headlight housing, no fake vents whatsoever. Now, as we come across that low slung hood, you could clearly see that aero aid here. Look at the way it extends down in the center section right underneath the peak of the lower grille area, and that's gonna help shovel air into the intercooler and radiator, because we have a turbocharged intercooled setup. We have gloss black, crisscross lace of a grille, the Mazda logo, and the way the hood just slopes down very nicely really gives it a slick aerodynamic look to it. Now, when we get up onto that low hood, the good news is you just got two body lines. They come up, go towards the A-pillar, and that's it. That's one of the things I like about this Mazda 3 is that there's not a bunch of creases, edges, and definitely no fake vents, at least on the front. When we come around the bend, what are we working with on our Mazda 3 Turbo? We have these multi-spoke wheels, gloss black, looking great with the pearlescent white that we have. It's an 18-inch wheel. The bad news is it's only a 215. So 215 on the width, 45 series sidewall. If you're saying, well, Joe, what should the width be? I'm thinking 255, at least 245, to get a little bit more rubber to meet the road, and a little bit wider wheel, I think would just help set off not only the look, but also the performance. But the good news is we do have the all-wheel drive to keep us planted. Nice size rotors that are fully ventilated, and if you notice on the corner, you can see how that extra aero wraps all the way around. Now, speaking of wrapping around, you go around the fender, nice clean body line. Coming down the side, we're gonna have this metallic black on the mirror caps, super small LED turn signals. You do have a sunroof, you know what I'm gonna say. Black out the whole freaking roof. It would look sick. White with a black roof, spot on the money. They should be hiring me over at Mazda to get that done. So I am gonna zonk that, but you do have a sunroof. You'll notice the aero from the front comes to the side, nice side sill extension, and look at the way that it turns up to help direct flow down the rear of the vehicle. And it doesn't stop there. I think the other zonk I'm gonna just pull out of the bag is this guy right here. This bright, shiny metalwork, that should be dark chrome. I think if this was dark chrome, it would kind of blend in a little bit better with this overall hot hatch theme. Now, when we get to the back, you'll notice massive rear pillar. It does create a big blind spot, but on the outside, I think it looks great, especially the way it kind of flares out into that fender right above the rear wheel and tire. You'll notice we have that additional adding of performance with aerodynamics on this rear spoiler on the hatchback. Here's your stock level. Here is your extra high spoiler. It is a functional piece. It's got a nice kick up to it, and it's got a little bit of a split level there to help really bring that air off the back of the car. You can see stock is where the third brake light is. What we have is the optional. We're going big with this nice size wing. You do have a wiper on the back. It's not bothering me too much on a hatchback. If this was an SUV, you know what we would be doing. We would be zonking that. Sexy taillights. I love the taillights, the way Mazda does the style, the LED shape, the way that the housing is tinted and then extends out. Look at the way they kind of notch. They put a little U-shaped notch in there for that that taillight design. You have your Mazda logo in the center. The other thing that I'm gonna zonk, somebody added this on the option list, is this brushed aluminum piece. Yes, I know that this will stop people from scratching the bumper as you're pulling stuff in and out, but it just doesn't fit the sporty feel of what this vehicle is about. We drop down, you're gonna see your Mazda 3 badge, all-wheel drive. This would have been nice if it was blacked out. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Tell me in the comment section what you think so far. Keep on dropping down. Look at this rear diffuser area. Super aggressive. You got one exhaust outlet on each side. This thing you could actually eat lunch off of. I think it's about lunchtime, and Lori and I are gonna eat our lunch off the back. And the even better news is that there is a little bit of functionality with this grill, lower grill area. Some of it is blocked off, so we'll let it slide because it does look damn good. And of course the turbo badge. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see that turbocharged engine in our Mazda 3. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. I'm gonna double zonk it. We're gonna do a zonk squared because we do have a prop rod and it's like right in the middle of all the action. Now you have a semi-tasteful engine cover with 2 cup holders, which is nice. That nice bright turbo badge in the silver looks classy. And as Lori kind of eventually rotates towards the back of the engine compartment at the firewall, you'll see that bright silver heat shielding. That's where the turbo lies in this engine. That is a 2.5 liter inline-4 turbocharged engine. If you use premium fuel, which you don't have to, but if you do, you will get the full 250 horsepower. If you don't, you're looking around 227 horsepower. But we're using premium, so 250 horsepower, 320 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to one transmission only, a 6-speed automatic. WTF Mazda, it would have been great to get a 6-speed in this hot hatch. 0 to 60 in about 5.5 seconds with that all-wheel drive. Quarter mile is gonna go by at 14 seconds flat at right around 100 miles an hour. The vehicle weighs 3,255 pounds. MPGs 23 in the city, 32 on the highway. So that's the nice news about this, is that it really has the engine that it should have had from the get-go, that turbocharged power. Still, they don't want to say that this is a Mazdaspeed 3, and I understand because it's not. Mazdaspeed 3 really brought a little bit extra something. This could have been that something extra on top of the something extra because of the all-wheel drive. But we'll have to wait and see what they do. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up what we have now and hear what it sounds like. All right guys, we're inside this Mazda 3 Turbo, and you know what? If you're looking for that hot hatch that has that extra nice high quality feel to the materials on the interior, Mazda is really doing a great job of creating a premium feel without the premium brand or crazy astronomical price. Now if you're wondering, well Joe, since you mentioned the P word, first of all, get your mind out of the gutter, you weirdo. Second of all, if you're mentioning the P word, price, how much is this one? MSRP is right around $33,000. This one is pretty much fully loaded. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels, I love what they've done. Soft touch material. The red with the black just looks absolutely perfect, like a nice black cherry. You got the optional Bose sound system. Nice aluminum speaker covers. Compare this to your WRX. Compare this to your Focus ST. I'm sorry, it doesn't compare. This is a much higher level of fit and finish and design. Door pocket's a little small. Maybe just go with a couple tacos from Chipotle. I would not go burrito. You're gonna get sour cream all over this beautiful interior. Now, when you go from the door panel to the dash, soft material, the two-tone is great, the stitch work is phenomenal, the way they blend in the AC vents, they even bring this design just to make it look like all one piece. Infotainment side of things, so something a little different compared to, say, a Focus ST or a Fiesta ST or even a Subaru WRX. You have that iPad style, it's like a floating style infotainment system. It's 8.8 inches. I'm gonna zonk it because they could have made it bigger. Another zonk that I know you guys are gonna want me to put, and you'll probably put in the comment section, no touchscreen. So you're gonna have to use the directory control knob to get through all your settings. You do have navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Throw it into reverse. For 2021, we got better cameras. Look how clear it is. Love the trajectory, and we got 360 cam. So they got you covered there. More of that beautiful material. They were even able to use all the real estate, give you an extra AC vent for the driver. You got your dual climate control. I love the switch gear in this Mazda 3. It's got a great feel to it. You got heated seats, heated steering wheel, nothing ventilated. Now the competition doesn't have anything ventilated either, so we'll give it a slide on that one. Start stop button, USB. You got a little bit of an area there for, I would say, probably about half a pound of peanut M&Ms. Just make sure you eat them before they melt. 2 cup holders. There's your Mazda key fob. Looks like a big old Zippo lighter or something like that, but it gets the job done. It's nice and light, so it's not gonna pull your pants down, and it's not gonna poke you in the groin. So, well, unless you if you put it weird in your jean pocket, it might poke you in the family jewels. Maybe you won't have any kids, but hey, you got your Mazda though. Automatic transmission, 6-speed, love the leather, nice shift boot, the silver finish. All you have is a switch for sport. You put it into sport, that's gonna change how the transmission behaves with the engine. That is all. This is not just gloss black, it actually has a little bit of a design underneath it, but it still does show fingerprints pretty well. There's that directory control knob I was telling you about. You do have a volume knob. I love even the soft material on the edge. So if you're living life on the edge, you're gonna like this edge because it's nice and soft, it's not gonna hurt. Armrest, same thing, one of the best in the business. It's like a big old Charmin pillow. Slide it back, lift it up, tilt it back, USB, 12 volt. You got a divider. Keep your Twinkies separate from your ding-dongs. And that's maybe, if you're a guy out there, you're probably gonna wanna live your life that way. Always keep your Twinkies separate from your ding-dongs because it causes problems. I don't know from personal experience, but that's what I've been told. Seats, love the red leather, love the way the headrest fits nicely, the perforated finish. The only zonk is that even fully loaded, this is not a power seat. It's manual, which doesn't make sense to me, but I do like the standard size sunroof. Nice touch. Close that up. I got plenty of headroom up front. It may get tighter back there, but we'll see. Coming over though to the business end, I want to show you behind the steering wheel of this Mazda 3. All right guys, we're behind the wheel of this Mazda 3 Turbo. You do have 2 memory seat settings, and the seat controls are easy to get to. Lower lumbar is a nice extra addition, and the bolstering is nothing that's tight. It's good and it's bad. So if you're gonna hit up the twisty bits, which we are in this car, it's gonna give you a little bit more movement, but they are comfortable for everyday driving. Steering wheel, thin spoked. I do like how thin the spokes are here. I just wish it was just a little fatter of a steering wheel, but the switch gear is very tasteful. Nice horn button. You do have small paddles on the back of the transmission steering wheel to go up and down the 6-speed automatic transmission. And then the dash, I wish they would have kept the freaking tack in the center, but the good news is that you have that digital display that really is so clear and crisp. It looks like an analog gauge, but it's actually a digital display. You got your analog tack, and then your coolant and your fuel gauge over to the right. Tilting and telescoping steering wheel is wonderful, and a head-up display. So look at the competition. Tell me if they have that. I don't think they do. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the back seat and see, is this hot hatch a little too hot for the company sitting back there? All right guys, back seat time, and it's a little bit of a mixed bag as usual in a Mazda 3, especially the hatchback. Getting in is a little tight because of the size of the door opening, and inside it's just a little tight. Nothing that's too crazy, but just something to be aware of. They do notch out the back of the seats to give you a little bit more leg room. The bad news is you got no pocket on the driver's side. I have a pocket, but you don't. Now, if you want to use my pocket, it's going to cost you I want $20 per week for as we're going down the road, what you're gonna give me to hold on to your stuff in my pocket. The other bad news, I may wanna take some of that money and buy some air conditioning because look, you don't have any rear AC vents and no connectivity. But is there? I don't know. We're gonna find out. There's that pocket. I'll hold on to your stuff. 20 bucks a week. Let's see. Nope. No connectivity. You got a soft armrest, 2 cup holders. No I was thinking maybe there was some connectivity in this armrest. They do it over at Mazda and like the Mazda 6. I'm sad. I can't believe that. So that's gonna be a major zonk. No connectivity, no rear AC. And it's a little tight back here. But why don't we get to the cargo area? Because you know what? It's about driving this Mazda 3 Turbo, which I think is really gonna be the telling tale of how good it is. So let's go get the cargo so that we could get driving. All right, guys, what makes a hot hatch is not just performance, but an actual hatchback. You can't call a sedan a hot hatch. So that's the nice thing is we don't have the sedan, we have the hatchback lifted up, nice wide opening. I like how deep the floor is. You're looking at 13.2 cubic feet of space with the seats up. Fold those seats down and you're gonna maximize it out at 47.1 cubic feet of space. I'm gonna lift up the cargo floor and see what do we have underneath. You get a spare, which is nice. A lot of cars are not giving us spares anymore. Nice to have the spare. Plop that down. If you're ready, this guy's definitely ready. Let's go see how this Mazda 3 Turbo handles in the twisty bits. Recording. All right, guys, here we are in the Mazda 3 Turbo. All-wheel drive, the extra aero. Let's find out if this is a hot hatch. We're gonna start off in full automatic mode. I do have it in sport mode. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Nice. On the brakes. All-wheel drive's working great. Feedback to the steering wheel is wonderful. Let's see how that torsion beam does out back. Yeah, would be nice if the multi-link was back there for sure when you're pushing it. The brakes work great though. Jeez, look at this. Nice. So let's talk about this a little bit. Like we mentioned before, you're getting that premium interior. You compare this to a Subaru WRX, a Ford Focus ST, Fiesta ST. There is no comparison with this interior. Steering wheel, love the thickness. If it was a little bit thicker, that would be great too. But the feedback is nice coming from the front. When you push extremely hard and you're doing those left-right transitions or right-left transitions, that's where the torsion beam, you can kind of feel its weaknesses back there, especially with how the car communicates with you. But the all-wheel drive keeps you super, super planted. It'd be interesting, multi-link, a little bit wider wheel and tire, and a manual transmission. But everything else is well sorted in here. Yes, you can't use the infotainment system as a touchscreen. There's no touchscreen ability, but once you get used to this direct drive control knob, it really is very easy to navigate through. And I really like the look of the hatchback. That would be the one I would get over the sedan for sure. But we're gonna go ahead, put this into manual shift mode. You take the shifter, put it over to the left. I'm gonna use the paddles and we're gonna really try to find out just how hot of a hatch, or is this even a hot hatch, this Mazda 3 Turbo. Would have been nice if they just would have went all in and just called it a Mazdaspeed 3, give it 300 horsepower. That would have been nice. But the 6-speed in regular automatic mode is just very smooth. Same thing with the paddles as well. All right, guys, here we go. Downshift second gear from a roll. On throttle, here we go. Nice. On the brakes. Feeling good from the front. Very, very nice. Good balance. Great, coming out of the corner on throttle. all the way down to second. As you heard, or maybe didn't hear, we weren't losing traction one bit. I would like to kind of up the ante on a racetrack just to really see, yeah, communication-wise from the back, that lack of a multi-link independent rear suspension, you could feel it as you are pushing it further and further up the line. But I think for most people, having that torsion beam, it's not really going to be affecting them that greatly. So that's the good news. And then you're getting, like I said, the overall wonderful environment in here. I like the sound that's coming from the exhaust. Nothing too loud, nothing too quiet. And the all-wheel drive is working great. All right, guys, here we go. Another time, manual shifting from a dead stop. On throttle, here we go. On the brakes. Nice. Here's a great turn. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. So, comparing this to a WRX, would like a little bit more horsepower. And I think a manual transmission would just kind of be the cherry on top. If this thing had 300 horsepower and a manual 6-speed, boy oh boy. And if they did a multi-link rear suspension, I mean, this thing would be probably one of the hotter of the hot hatches. Be great to see this go up against Type R, Veloster N, and have that all-wheel drive. They could do it. Mazda could do it. Put it in the comment section. If you want them to do it, put it in the comment section. All right, guys, one more time, just for you, dead stop. Here we go, on throttle. You definitely want to shift before getting close to red line because it just kind of hangs up between first and second. Little piece of advice. Nice. I'm liking the feedback to the steering wheel, that's for sure. On the brakes. Just when you push it, that's when you're feeling the weakness back there. Let's see how we go through this left-right. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. It would be nice to have just a little bit more connected feel, and that's what the multi-link rear suspension is gonna give you. Also, I wish the paddles were a little bit larger and a little bit closer to the perimeter of the steering wheel. And if I'm asking, if we're saying, Joe, what else you want, I would like a gear indicator that's a little larger in the dash or in the head-up display. But overall, definitely a move in the direction that enthusiasts want, more power and all-wheel drive. Is it that Mazdaspeed that we want? No, it's not. But if you're looking for something, like I said, a little bit more premium feel, and you're using it as your daily driver, this might be the one. But we're gonna go ahead and get back to our special parking lot and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another great day with this Mazda 3 Turbo. I want to thank everybody over at Mazda USA for allowing Rady's Rides access to this press fleet vehicle. Is it a hot hatch? You better believe it. Having that kind of power in such a small car, especially with the extra aero, gives it such a sharp look, but also has that performance to kind of go with the competition at this price point. Definitely want to check it out if you're looking for something that's a little bit more polished than maybe, say, a Subaru WRX. But if you want to keep seeing hot hatches and other turbocharged vehicles on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content, 2 ways to do it. Click the first link, become a Rady's Rides Patreon member. Click the second link, get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the hot hatch. She loves rowing through a 6-speed manual transmission. so she's bummed out about the automatic in this one, but definitely show Lori some love in the comment section because she is doing the business and getting it done. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.